Day one of the NFL free agency is officially somewhat over. We've had some huge surprises. We've had some not so big surprises. But it is Overreaction Tuesday. It is time to overreact to some of the moves that have been happening. What is going on? Justin Fields is not moved. Kirk Cousins gets signed. Mixon gets cut. Josh Jacobs gets signed. But first.
And now, Mike's thoughts.
It's been a long line coming for the NFL running backs. Many of the running backs are getting paid right now. They're getting some dollar bills. Yow! Saquon Barkley gets signed. Josh Jacobs gets signed. Aaron Jones gets cut, then gets signed. But Joe Mixon has officially been released by the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Mixon and the Cincinnati Bengals have parted their ways. If you guys remember last season, Joe Mixon actually took a pay cut to stay a part of the Cincinnati Bengals. He was getting like $5.7 million last season. He did rush for 1,034 yards last season to 9 touchdowns. That was 8th in the NFL. But then they decided to cut him. Say, see you later, alligator. We don't want you in town no more. Guys, this shows you that the running backs are a dime a dozen in the NFL. Yes, Saquon Barkley got a damn good deal. Yes, DeAndre Swift got a pretty good deal. Yes, Josh Jacobs got a pretty good deal. But those are few and far between. You guys remember when Zeke got his bag? He got cut, but a year later, 2 years later. Guys, do not let this running back free agency frenzy that's happening here on the first day fool you. Do not let it fool you. Because at the end of the day, running backs are still a dozen. You still need a two-back system. Josh Jacobs is still going to need A.J. Dillon. Saquon Barkley is still going to need Boston Scott. Aaron Jones is still going to need Ty Chandler. Every running back is basically a two-back system now. Tony Pollard needed Zeke. It is what it is. So do not get it twisted that Joe Mixon has been cut. He has been cut. But Joe Mixon will land on greener pastures somewhere, whether it's with the Ravens, whether it's with the Cowboys, whether it's with the Kansas City Chiefs. He's going to end up somewhere and be just fine. But Joe Mixon has been released, and loyalty means nothing in the NFL. Business is business at the end of the day. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off. Get it hype, this man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman. Everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? Let's go.
And good morning, Man Hour Nation. Michael Bakashi here with the Man Hour, of manhourradio.com. Of course, NFLtoday.co. Check out the new and improved NFLtoday.co website. We got stats, we got scores, we got blogs, we got merchandise, we got forums, we got anything you want to talk your stuff over that NFLtoday.co. My man Wayne G just dropped a blog called Not So Fast, basically highlighting or talking about the fastest man ever on a 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine. Basically saying, hey, just because you're fast, that doesn't mean you're a good NFL player. Wayne G spitting facts as always. But if you guys are not a Pigskin Pundit, click on the link below, become a Pigskin Pundit. Q2 merch is getting ready to roll out as of April 1st, and bada bing, bada boom, you got to be a Pigskin Pundit to get that type of merch. Free merch if you're a Pigskin Pundit each and every quarter. first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. You get a free hoodie or a free t-shirt or sweats or something. You get some type of free merchandise over there from the NFLtoday.co store. Also, guys, this is a live interactive show. Comments are encouraged. Feel free to talk your stuff in the comments below, but be ready to defend yourself because this is live, raw, and uncut. Everything comes strictly from the top of my dome. But we got to do welcome some people into the chat here. We got the man, the myth, the legend himself. We got Mr. Wayne G in the chat, and he says Saquon Barkley is a 3-down back. That's why he got $13 million a season. Saquon Barkley is a good 3-down back. Saquon Barkley is a good running back. I'm not trying to take that away from him whatsoever. However, we all know the life of a running back, Wayne G. We all know the life of a running back is about 7 years. They get one deal and then they fall off very, very quickly, i.e. Zeke Elliott, i.e. Derrick Henry, i.e. Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones that just got cut now with the Vikings, but whatever. We digress from that. But yeah, Saquon Barkley is a 3-down back, and hopefully he can, reamp his career? Maybe. I don't know. Finally. I don't know. But we got my man WB Ant in the chat. He's been in hiding since the AFC Championship game. He says, "Good morning, y'all. I'm back. I finally recovered from the Chiefs game." Listen, I feel your pain, brother. I feel your pain. I mean, not this year or last year, but the previous year, I felt your pain. When the Bengals beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, I was like, man, this sucks. This sucks. But the NFL offseason is here. Free agency is here. Day one is officially in the books, and there have been some movements across the field that we are all kind of thinking like, what? What? Kirk Cousins got signed? But it is Overreaction Tuesday, so we're going to overreact to some of those signings. Kirk Cousins. Who else we got here on on the list? We got Sam Darnold, Saquon Barkley. We are all going to overreact to all of those signings, but we have to talk about the man, the myth, the legend himself. We do have to talk about the one and only, the Chicago Bears quarterback, a.k.a. Justin Fields. Justin Fields was the hot topic of choice for many, many weeks during the draft, combine, pre-combine, post-combine. Justin Fields was the talk of the town. Where is Justin Fields going? Is he going to the Steelers? Nope. Is he going to the Falcons? Well, obviously not now. Is he going to the Vikings? Guys, what in the Justin Fields is going on right now? Wasn't Justin Fields supposed to be the most sought-after quarterback? Weren't the Falcons going to give like a first-round draft pick to like get this guy? Weren't the Pittsburgh Steelers going to bring him in for a couple second-round picks? Weren't the Giants going to make a play for him, or the Patriots and all this other stuff? Like, there has been a hush across the landscape about Justin Fields. I thought Justin Fields was the most attractive piece in the free agent period. I also thought that the Bears were going to move on from him very, very quickly. They were going to, quote, do right by Justin and not let him be in the gray area. But Justin Fields is still on a Bears roster after day one. Now, day two is getting ready to ramp up here. Obviously, about 11 o'clock is when all the news started breaking yesterday. Crazy day. But the Kirk Cousins signing to the Atlanta Falcons showed me that Justin Fields is not highly sought after as many of us thought. The Kirk Cousins signing showed us that Justin Fields is second choice. The Kirk Cousins signing showed us that Justin Fields is the man sitting on the bench waiting to get asked to the dance after all the pretty girls say no. That's what it comes down to. Obviously, the Steelers got a great deal in Russell Wilson. I think the Steelers are a Super Bowl caliber team with Russell Wilson at the helm. You're paying that man $1.4 million to be a $40 million quarterback. That is a steal. But then, after Kirk Cousins left Minnesota, my mind started spinning. I'm like, man, Justin Fields with the Vikings? Oh, I like it. team up with Justin Jefferson, got Ty Chandler in the backfield. You got a fairly good defense, nice young head coach, wants to throw the ball all over the field. No, the Vikings go out and get Sam Darnold. What? Sam Darnold over Justin Fields? Okay. What? And so then I'm like, well, maybe the Bears just aren't making very many free agent moves. Maybe the Bears are just kind of laying back, watching things go. They're going to wait till the draft, trade out of the first round, get a bunch of draft picks for that first overall pick, maybe 3 or 4 first round draft picks. But they're being active in free agents, right? They signed DeAndre Swift. They signed Kevin Baird. Jalen Johnson got a massive deal. So, guys, let me ask you this question. Let me jump over into the comments here. Do you guys think that the Chicago Bears are going to keep Justin Fields? Do you guys think the Chicago Bears do not see the value of trading Justin Fields for a second overall pick? Because when you look at the draft is a crapshoot. You don't know if a player is going to be a good NFL player, is going to be a bad NFL player. Is he going to drive into the lake after the draft night like the Detroit Lions player did, right? Drunk. You don't know. You do know what you're going to get from Justin Fields, a very capable quarterback. A quarterback that is able to handle the pressure of a shitty offensive line. You have a quarterback that can win you some games. Guys, the Bears were in a playoff hunt last season. Let's not forget about that. The Bears were in a playoff hunt last season. They finished 1.5, 2 games out of the playoffs? They got hot a little bit sooner. They could have been in the playoffs. But guys, do you guys think that the Chicago Bears are going to move on from Justin Fields, or are they going to keep him? Let's jump over here into the chat here. James Chamberlain is in the chat. He says Justin Fields should go to Denver. Listen, I think the Denver Broncos are cleaning house. I mean, they're obviously cleaning house. They are cleaning house, and there is nobody left in Denver. You got Sutton and maybe like a defensive tackle. Would Sean Payton like a quarterback like Justin Fields? I think Sean Payton over there in Denver is looking for his next Drew Brees. Looking for his next molding aspect and growing him into a Hall of Famer. Now, let's not forget, Drew Brees was a San Diego Charger for 3 years. They brought in Phillip Rivers. I think he tore his rotator cuff. Phillip Rivers kind of took over that offseason. Drew Brees did go to New Orleans that following season. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I am right. Could Justin Fields be that guy? Spent 3 years in Chicago, really not doing great things, not being bad, goes to Denver, becomes a Hall of Famer? I don't know. That kind of makes sense. Why not, right? Wayne G also says Fields' impending contract hurts his trade value. It's now a 3rd round pick tops. Can the Bears swallow that? The Bears did spend a 1st round draft pick on Justin Fields. The Bears have also been spending a lot of money this offseason to build around Justin Fields, I think. They got a really good running back in DeAndre Swift that did rush for 1,000 yards last season. Granted, it was behind one of the best offensive lines ever assembled, with a great receiver core, with a damn good quarterback. Well, let's digress from that, but a very, very good team aspect. If I'm the Chicago Bears, do I take a 3rd round pick for Justin Fields? No, I don't. I take it on the chin, and I say Justin Fields is my guy, right? Is he entering his 4th year, 3rd year? The man still has 2 years left on his rookie deal. Maybe, just maybe, bringing in somebody like DeAndre Swift will give him the Jalen Hurts effect. Jalen Hurts, first couple years in good old Philadelphia. Going into his third year, Combs and myself sat right here on the show saying, man, Jalen Hurts just may not be that guy. Jalen Hurts may not be the man, the myth, the legend that we all think he should be. Insert A.J. Brown, boom, to the moon, baby. Highest paid quarterback in the NFL the following season. Maybe that's what Justin Fields needs. Granted, he does have DJ Moore now. Bring in a running back. Draft a Marvin Harrison Jr. Maybe that's what Justin Fields needs. If I'm the Chicago Bears, I do not take a third-round pick for Justin Fields. I let Justin Fields battle and be the leader that I know he is. I trade out of the first round, or out of the first overall pick. We saw it for the San Francisco 49ers. They get 4 first-round draft picks for the number 1 overall pick. The Carolina Panthers, right, gave up a lot for the first-round draft pick last season. People are willing to jump up in the first overall pick if they need a quarterback. Slow it down, baby. Slow it down, right? I think the tornado sirens are going off at my house. If you guys can hear that, that's kind of weird. It's sunny outside. Must be test. But anyways, Carson Lang's in the chat. What's up, Carson? He says Vikings are going to get the acapella astronaut Dobbs. No, they're not. They already cut that man. They said, get out of here. Sam Darnold's better. Sam Darnold is better, they said. James says Field is still raw enough for Sean Payton to mold. I hate to boost up a guy like Justin Fields because Brandon Combs is a Chicago Bears fan, and anything Combs says it is wrong, right? But Combs, I have to give him credit where credit is due. He said Justin Fields pretty much on any other team is a Super Bowl caliber type of quarterback. Now, obviously, I don't think he is going to go to a team like the Arizona Cardinals and instantly make them a Super Bowl competitive team. But I think what Combs was saying in a roundabout way is that Justin Fields does have the intangibles, right? He is still raw enough. He has the talent. He has the confidence still in himself. He has the build. He has the mindset. He has the football IQ to be a great quarterback. I think that's what Brandon Combs was trying to say. If you put him on a team that is willing to invest in him, meaning time, coaching, maybe some pieces around him, he has the ability, the football IQ to get you to that next level, to get you to that Super Bowl competitive team. I don't think the Chicago Bears are willing to wait around for him to develop. Denver Broncos right now, obviously, in complete rebuild mode. For the next 2 seasons, the Denver Broncos will be lucky to get 5-6 wins total. Total in 2 years. They are basically gutting the team and building from the ground up. That is what they're doing. Sean Payton has 10 years to do whatever he wants. I believe he has guaranteed money too. I mean, if the Broncos fire Sean Payton and obviously cut Russell Wilson, they're on the hook for like $200 million over the next 2 seasons. You can't afford that. So obviously Sean Payton knows what he's doing, or we hope he knows what he's doing. Maybe Justin Fields is just that guy in Broncos. The more I think about it, the more I speak about it out loud and stop thinking about it and just speaking about it, it does make sense, James. It does make sense. Justin Fields to the Denver Broncos does make sense. He is not expected to do anything good there. The Broncos are expected to be bad, terrible over the next 2 seasons. Let's just be honest. Caroline's in the chat. She says, and Patrick Surtain II is still in Denver with Sutton. So they still got Patrick Surtain, which Patrick Surtain is a top defender in the NFL. I like it. But Sutton, really, what has he done for the Denver Broncos too? Same thing like Jerry Jeudy. The wide receivers haven't really stepped up and been the guys, right? People are upset about trading Jerry Jeudy. He hasn't done shit for the Broncos. Sutton, is he ever healthy? Like, come on now. And says, I think he'd be a good fit for like on the Seahawks. The problem with the Seahawks, Ant, is they are in on Geno Smith. They are in on Geno Smith, and rightfully so. Geno Smith had a great, 2 seasons ago. Last season, he kind of come back down to reality. But Geno Smith is a good, decent quarterback for the Seahawks. Now, with the Seahawks' new head coach, we'll see what happens, right? We'll see if Geno Smith is able to adapt. I don't like Justin Fields in Seattle as much as I do like him in Denver, because I feel like if you trade for Justin Fields in Seattle, he is expected to do well. In Denver, you are not. Brett's in the chat. He says, James Chamberlain, well said. Well said. We got some agreements going on here. Caroline says, I want Justin Fields or a good college quarterback draft. What are the Denver Broncos sitting at right now, guys? It's top 5, isn't it? No, they're not that high, because they were kind of in a playoff hunt for the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. I don't know where the Denver Broncos are sitting at, but I mean, if you want to draft a quarterback, it's a very good class to draft from, right? From Caleb Williams to Bo Nix to Michael Penix Jr. There's a lot of good quarterbacks that I think are going to have really good NFL careers. Carson says, I think Fields will do fine if the Bears get some consistency around him. What kind of consistency do you want? The Bears were in a playoff hunt last season, Carl Larson. The Bears got hot a little too late last season, but they were looking like a damn good football team toward the end of the season. And that is tough to say as a Bears hater, right? When you see a team go from a complete shit show to 2 games out of the playoff race, something is happening, right? The Bears have all the pieces. I just don't think the Bears are in it for the long haul, right? They want to win right now. They want to perform right now. And I think Matt Eberflus, his job is on the line this season. He should have been fired last season, but we digress from that. The Bears are putting pieces around Justin Fields. They have a really good running back in DeAndre Swift now. They have DJ Moore. They have the number 1 overall pick. They have the number 8 overall pick. The Bears have an opportunity to be really, really good if they just do it correctly. And I think building around Justin Fields is the correct answer, unfortunately. Paul Akers in the chat. What's up, Paul? This is a new name out there. He says they should trade Fields to a team like the Browns. Yeah, because the Browns need a quarterback. They had Deshaun Watson. What are you going to do? Trade? Are you going to put a former first-round pick, give up a third-round pick to sit him on the bench for Deshaun Watson? Like that just seems asinine. Now, a trade like Mac Jones, when you get like a 6th-round pick, that's okay. I think a 3rd-round pick is just a little too high to have a backup quarterback. And they still have, what's his face? PJ Walker, right? I mean, like the Browns have quarterbacks, and it's not like Justin Fields is going to start over Deshaun Watson. Even if Justin Fields outplays Deshaun Watson, he's not going to start. $100 million versus a third round pick, you have to play your $100 million quarterback. That just doesn't make sense. Wayne G says if the Bears stick with Fields and he again completes 62% of his passes for 250 yards, How do they explain passing on back-to-back number one picks? I don't think you can. I don't think you can explain that. But you know what would help those stats? 62% completion percentage, 2,500 passing yards, just winning football games. If the Bears are like they are now, a game out of the playoff race, 2 games out of the playoff race, and Justin Fields does do this again, then I could see very, very upset Chicago Bears fans. But if he puts up those same numbers and they make the playoffs, I think the Bears fans are happy. I mean, the Bears just want to be good, right? Are the Broncos going to be the next Raiders? The Broncos are the worst team in the NFL. It is what it is. Caroline says, I think Sean Payton got him a plan for us. I believe in him. I think Sean Payton just wants the keys to the kingdom, and I don't care what it cost him. I think Sean Payton wants everything his way, and he doesn't care if the Denver Broncos suck for 5-6 years, just as long as it is his way. Sean Payton has a Super Bowl ring. He has all the glory in the world. I think now Sean Payton, because if you guys remember when he was an analyst on Fox or CBS or whatever it was, Sean Payton hated the Denver Broncos, consistently criticizing the Denver Broncos week after week after week. And now all of a sudden you're the head coach. I don't know. Chris is in the chat. He says, Fields, football IQ? Come on, man. He struggles reading defense, bad at going through progressions, and almost has as many picks as touchdown passes. The key word there is almost. There is going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback by the name of Eli Manning that has a 1 touchdown to 1 interception ratio. I think Justin Fields has great football IQ. Flashback to the film at Ohio State. He read defenses very, very well. Now, many people say, oh, he always took the first read, whatever, because the first read was open. That's about reading. If you read it and it's open, you pass the damn ball. The reason why he's having trouble reading in Chicago because the offensive line is terrible. He literally has 2.3 seconds to get the ball, analyze the defense, let the receivers run their routes before he has somebody in his face or before he's scrambling out of the pocket. The Chicago Bears offensive line is terrible. You put an extra 4/10 of a second onto that 2.33 seconds, Justin Fields is probably a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. He has football IQ. He can read. He just needs time to do it. It's just like you or me, Chris. You can put a book in front of me and say, read this book in 5 minutes and tell me what happened. It's a 2,000-page book. We're not going to get through it. We don't have enough time. It is what it is. James says he definitely does. Getting through year 1 and getting rid of Wilson without having to pay out of that bonus was step 1. Guys, Sean Payton may have a master plan in his head, but right now they're getting punched in the mouth. Fans like Caroline, you guys are really grabbing on to the faith of Sean Payton. He's going to lead it to the promised land. Like I understand you got to go through the rain to see the rainbow, right? But damn it, it's going to be a long thunderstorm in Denver. They got the 6th round pick in the first round, I believe. So the 6th overall pick. Okay. Browns are stuck with Watson, says James, because of that stupid contract. That is facts. Guys, the first day of free agency, I've never seen so much guaranteed money like ever. It seems like everybody's getting guaranteed money. Kirk Cousins, $180 million, which we'll be talking about him in a minute. It was like 50 or 60 guaranteed money, right? Saquon Barkley, guaranteed money. I think the only deal that didn't have guaranteed money is Josh Jacobs in there, and because the Packers don't guarantee money ever. But yeah, the Browns are stuck with Deshaun Watson for the life of his contract, unless they pull a Denver Broncos and cut him. But they're still on that dead cap hit. Ant says Ohio State quarterbacks never worked out in the NFL. See, and I don't like that stigma, because when you look at quarterbacks or players in general, right? Yes, there's always a group of players from like Ohio State, linebacker U, right? Or Penn State, running back U. USC was quarterback U for the longest time, right? Yes, Ohio State quarterbacks do have the stigma of flaking out in the NFL. They do have that stigma. Pryor and trying to think of some other quarterbacks' names that have been out there. I'm not huge on college football, but yes, they do have that stigma. But to say that no Ohio State quarterback ever works out in the NFL, that is tough. Scott says Fields is going to Vegas even though they signed Minshew. They will be a 1-2 quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. Why does everybody and their dog think everybody wants to go to Vegas? Listen, not only do the Raiders have to offer some type of draft compensation or a player for Justin Fields, then you have to pay Justin Fields. Then you have to realize, what are we going to do with like our 9th overall pick or whatever they got? They got Adrian O'Connell. They got Gardner Minshew, and then Justin Fields. Boy, that sounds like a real winning quarterback room there. It sounds like a controversy hell. Adrian O'Connell was the last quarterback to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. It is what it is. Gardner Minshew is a good bridge gap quarterback. Wherever he goes, whether it's to the Jaguars, whether it's to the Eagles, whether it's to the Colts, I think he played somewhere else before that, he will go out there and he'll do good for you for good 8, 9, 10 games tops. The reason why the Las Vegas Raiders signed Gardner Minshew is to be that gap stop quarterback. Adrian O'Connell is not him. I don't care what you guys say. Adrian O'Connell is not him. What is going to happen are the Las Vegas Raiders are going to draft a quarterback in the draft. That quarterback may not be quite ready, whether it's Penix Jr. or the kid from Florida State. Gardner Minshew is simply there to play the first 4, 5, 6 games of the season. Hopefully they're not 0-6 at that particular point, because Antonio Pierce will be fired by week 8, like I predicted. And then they're going to bring in the rookie. They are not trading for Justin Fields. No way, no how. Sorry, Las Vegas Raiders fans. Even your best player, Max Crosby, doesn't want to be there. It is what it is. The only reason why Gardner Minshew went there is so he can do his porn stash on those ladies. Jim says Minshew was always a Raider. He just wasn't a Raider till yesterday. Good Lord. There you go. Correct, James. Somebody forgot about C.J. Stroud. Ohio State quarterback broke that stigma, right? Yeah, I forgot. Yes, same as that. I forgot he went to Ohio State. But at the same time, like, I don't really care what college you went to, right? There are a lot of defensive tackles and cornerbacks from the Kansas State University, my Kansas State University, in the NFL. It's not like they're D tackle you. It just happens. James says, nope, would not draft Penix Jr. His knee's already gone. He passed every medical examination he is. Listen, James, I live in Indiana now, and I saw Michael Penix Jr. play 4 years ago. Michigan came into town, and he freaking balled out. Michael Penix Jr. can put a team on his shoulders and will victory. Granted, they did not beat Michigan that particular day, but it was like 44-42. He dove into the end zone. They called him out of bounds, even though the ball hit the pylon. But we digress from that. It's not like I'm an Indiana fan. But Penix Jr. is going to be a really good quarterback, I think. Yes, he has had medical issues. I think he's torn his ACL twice, maybe 3 times. Shoulder injury. He's been hurt every year he's been in college. I get it. But it is what it is. But guys, it is time to get into some Overreaction Tuesday. Overreaction Tuesday is very, very simple. We've been scouring the old interwebs out there, and there have been some big free agent signings, and we're going to overreact to them. Is it an overreaction or underreaction? It's very, very simple. Guys, play along in the chat because sharing is caring. And also, guys, if you haven't done so already, please like this live show that you're listening to. So, because every little bit helps. Get it out to the masses because we do try to put on a pretty good show here. I try my best, but today it is what it is. But let's get into the first overreaction of the day. Obviously, guys, Kirk Cousins has signed a 4-year, $180 million deal with the Atlanta Falcons. We spoke yesterday about Baker Mayfield re-signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and like how that could potentially make them the front runner of the NFC South. So now we got to go the other way. Kirk Cousins to the Atlanta Falcons. Overreaction or underreaction? Are the Atlanta Falcons now the front runners in the NFC South? Guys, I feel like the Atlanta Falcons were kind of a quarterback away. They have a lot of young talent. They have Drake London, Kyle Pitts, B.J. Robinson. They have a really good defense. The offensive line is pretty well put together. New head coach, new general manager. Why not bring in somebody like Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins is a betting man, and he bets on himself, and he wins all the time. Kirk Cousins has had 11 years of guaranteed money. Think about that. Whoever Kirk Cousins' agent is, everybody in the NFL needs to sign this man because he's getting my man guaranteed money year after year after year. But Kirk Cousins is coming off an Achilles injury. We don't know if he's even going to be able to play come week 1. We don't even know if he's going to be a shell of himself. But Kirk Cousins' track record is proven. He has made receivers like Stephon Diggs and Justin Jefferson a hell of a lot better. Yes, they did have talent. But without Kirk Cousins, Stephon Diggs wouldn't be getting his bag in Buffalo. Without Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson wouldn't be getting his bag in Minnesota. So is it an overreaction or an underreaction after the Kirk Cousins signing to the Atlanta Falcons that makes them front runners in the NFC South? I think the Atlanta Falcons have become a very, very dangerous team. I think on paper, the Atlanta Falcons can win the NFC South. On paper, I think the Atlanta Falcons can win 11 games. I think on paper, the Atlanta Falcons could have one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL. But the game is not won on paper. The game is won between the white lines, and we don't know what Kirk Cousins brings. We don't know if Kirk Cousins is going to be Kirk Cousins from Washington or Kirk Cousins from last season or a Kirk Cousins that we've never seen before because of his torn Achilles. The simple fact of the matter, on paper, I feel that the Atlanta Falcons can and should win the NFC South. But I still think it is a Tampa Bay Buccaneers division to lose. I think it is an overreaction. I think it is an overreaction that Kirk Cousins instantly makes the Atlanta Falcons front runners in the NFC South. However, I do think the NFC South got a hell of a lot more competitive, a hell of a lot more wide open. By the signing of Kirk Cousins, we all expect Kirk Cousins to be what he has been, right? The NFC South guys kind of quietly become a very, very good division overnight. The NFC South probably went from one of the worst divisions to one of the best divisions overnight. If Derek Carr can show up and be like Derek Carr of old, Baker Mayfield play like he played last year, Kirk Cousins play like he played last year before his injury, it's a 3-horse race. If Bryce Young can step up and do what he was drafted to do, it could still be a 3-horse race. But it is an overreaction. The Falcons are not the front runners in the NFC South with this Kirk Cousins signing. I still have faith in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Guys, let's go ahead and jump over into the chat here and see what the people are saying. Jim says it looks like your Gonchalaforma beard dye has soaked in too long and putting you in a bad mood. Listen, this red, it's pure, baby. It's all natural. All natural. I'm trying the Hoffy goatee, and it makes it look even more redder for some reason. I don't like it. But Jim says, I ain't mad about it. I wanted Cousins over Jimmy G anyways. Aren't you a Raiders fan, Jim? So you wanted Kirk Cousins to come to Las Vegas? Is that what I'm getting? I don't understand. James says Panthers are going to fail miserably and won't be Young's fault. Then whose fault is it going to be, James? Bryce Young is the quarterback. Bryce Young was the savior of the franchise, the first overall pick. Bryce Young was supposed to lead them to the promised land. Do not give Bryce Young the Lamar Jackson treatment. Do not do that to this man. When I say the Lamar Jackson treatment, I'm saying like when a team wins, Baltimore Ravens, it's all Lamar Jackson. But when he loses, he doesn't have the weapons around him. He needs this. Greg Roman. It's everybody else's fault but his. Do not put that on Bryce Young. All or nothing, baby. All or nothing. It asks the question, where do y'all think Derrick Henry is going to go? Derrick Henry seems like he wants to go to Miami. That's where he's from. Kind of makes sense. They run the hell out of the ball. However, the Miami Dolphins do have 3 or 4 running backs. Derrick Henry has been rumored to go to the Ravens as well. We spoke on it, Ant. I said Derrick Henry to the Baltimore Ravens is the most dangerous move that anybody can make. You get a downhill runner with the shifty quarterback like Lamar Jackson. It is a match made in heaven. Man, my eye hurts so bad right now. But I think ultimately Derrick Henry signs with a team that we do not see coming. I think Derrick Henry is going to sign with a team that we have no idea that was even in the market for a running back, kind of like Josh Jacobs to the Green Bay Packers. Like, well, what? It would not surprise me one bit if Derrick Henry re-signs with the Tennessee Titans. You already brought Tony Pollard in, $24 million deal for the Titans. Derrick Henry is not an every down back anymore. He's older, over the hill. But he's a great 2-back system. Granted, I do know the Tennessee Titans do have the very young running back that they drafted last year or two years ago to basically replace Derrick Henry. But I don't think Derrick Henry's going to go anywhere. I think he either goes to the Titans or he goes to a team like Arizona Cardinals. It's kind of going to be a shock. Jim says Las Vegas doesn't need King Henry before that stuff gets started. Zamir is a beast. Zamir is a beast, he says. Man, why does my eye hurt so bad? Las Vegas Raiders need all the help they can get, Jim. Las Vegas Raiders need Tom Brady. They need Marshawn Lynch. They need Jerry Rice. They need Joey Porter. They need every old head they can get to come to Las Vegas, and maybe they'll win. Ant says the Ravens cannot afford him. Unfortunately, I think he goes to the Cowboys or the Chiefs. I think we've seen that Derrick Henry is probably willing to take a pay cut to be on a competitive team. I think Derrick Henry will play under a $4, $5, $6 million type of deal to be on a championship caliber team. Derrick Henry is entering his 7th or 8th season in the NFL. He wants to win a ring. Why do my eyes hurt so bad? Oh my God, it's terrible. A team like the Chiefs, I would love it. But you have the same exact running back in King Henry and Isaiah Pacheco. Basically the same guy. The Dallas Cowboys makes sense now that Tony Pollard is gone. But the Cowboys really don't have the yin to the yang, right? I thought Saquon Barkley was going to go to the Cowboys. That would have been amazing. That would have been perfect. I meant it'll be more of an organizational fail, not a player fail for Carolina. I don't know. Guys, my eye is fucking killing me right now. I don't know what I did. Jim says your homer is showing. No, it's not. My homer is not showing at all. Jim says your eyes are hurting from that cheap beard dye. It's not dye, man. It's all natural. Ant says, I agree. It makes sense him to sign with them. The Chiefs would be unstoppable with him and Pacheco splitting the carries. I don't think the Chiefs would be unstoppable because what makes a two-back system so great is you have two different running styles, right? For example, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Nick Chubb was kind of the finesse guy, right? Kareem Hunt was lower the head, I'm going to run you over type of guy. That was a great mix-up, right? Zeke and Tony Pollard. Zeke was the power. Tony Pollard was the shifty guy. Let's see here. Boston Scott and DeAndre Swift. Power and shifty. I don't think power is a good. It's a good mix. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't. Let me state that I would love me some Derrick Henry on the team. I would love me some Derrick Henry on the team, but slow it down, baby. We got the man, Isaiah Pacheco, right now. Speaking of the man, the Vikings are making some very questionable moves in the first day of free agency. They did not sign Kirk Cousins. They basically let him walk. They signed Sam Darnold to a contract. They signed X-Factor Aaron Jones to a one-year deal, $7 million. Is it an overreaction or underreaction that the Vikings are lost in free agency? Guys, the Minnesota Vikings free agency right now is kind of like, what the hell are y'all doing? Now, clearly, in my eyes, I think that the Vikings needed to go get a quarterback. Obviously, Kirk Cousins was gone, so they obviously needed to go get a quarterback. Whether it's via free agency or draft, whatever, they needed to go get a quarterback. That was their number one need. But Sam Darnold was not the answer. There's a reason why Sam Darnold is now on his fourth team in 3 years. There's a reason why he was basically cut from the New York Jets as their starting quarterback said, go to Carolina and figure yourself out. He wasn't a starter in Carolina. The only reason why they started him because Baker Mayfield was doing too good. He did go to San Francisco. Did look a little bit promising. Was battling for that starting position with Trey Lance. Obviously did not get it. He was a backup. Actually, I think he dropped down the third string because Brock Purdy became the backup. And obviously now he is now in Minnesota. Sam Darnold isn't the answer in Minnesota. Then you sign Aaron Jones to a one-year, $7 million deal. Yes, I do think Aaron Jones does have a little left in the tank. We saw it in the playoffs. When he is healthy, keyword there, healthy, he is a beast. I think he's still running untouched in the Dallas game. I just checked. He has 1,500 yards now untouched in the Dallas Cowboys game. He did the same thing in San Francisco, right? Ran the ball very, very, very well. but last season he only had 656 yards to 2 touchdowns. Was injured most of the season. So if you think you're going to get an every down back with Aaron Jones, you're quite mistaken. The Minnesota Vikings also have other running backs out there. They still have Ty Chandler. I think Ty Chandler is going to get a bulk of the carries this season, no matter who else is in the running back room. I think Ty Chandler is the man there in Minnesota. They also picked up Cam Akers last season. They have Dwayne McBride now, and now you add Aaron Jones. Really can't keep 4 or 5 running backs in your room. Who is going to be the odd man out? Are you going to cut a rookie running back? I guess he'll be a second year player. I think that'd be kind of dumb. Do you cut Ty Chandler? No, he's going to be your number 1 guy. So it's going to be between Cam Akers and Aaron Jones, like a training camp battle for the number 2 running back position. I don't know, guys. This is not an overreaction. I think the Minnesota Vikings are legitimately lost in free agency right now. They don't know whether they're coming or going. Let's just be honest. I don't think the Vikings general manager knows what he's doing. I don't think the coach knows what he's doing. Hell, I don't think most of the players know what they're doing. They're worried about signing Aaron Jones and Sam Darnold when they need to be worried about signing Danielle Hunter. They need to be worrying about how they can afford Justin Jefferson next season. They need to be worrying about how they can compete with the Detroit Lions in the NFC North. Oh, wait, they can't. Sam Darnold and Aaron Jones is not game changers that they need. Good Lord, the Minnesota Vikings are such a hell of a shit show. Who is going to pilot the Jets? Rodgers may not make it out of the tunnel this time. Yeah, bring back Sam Darnold to New York. That is what they need. That is what they need. Pacheco is shifty, though. He is shifty, as in he plants and goes. He looks shifty, but he just does a little bit. It is what it is. The final overreaction here on this Tuesday here is Saquon Barkley. The Philadelphia Eagles and Saquon Barkley has agreed to a deal making a Saquon Barkley around $13 million for the next 3 or 4 seasons. Does this signing by the Philadelphia Eagles guys is an overreaction or underreaction? Are the Eagles now the front runners in the NFC East? Saquon Barkley, guys, last season did rush for 962 yards with 6 touchdowns. He's replacing a running back that ran for over 1,000 yards with 5 touchdowns and DeAndre Swift. Now, we've said it many, many times that the Eagles do have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL last season. Well, guess what? That centerpiece, Jason Kelce, is officially gone. Lane Johnson is injured. The rest of that offensive line is older as well. However, Saquon Barkley did have the highest rate of unblocked people through the A and B gaps last season, meaning that every time Saquon Barkley got the ball, there was a linebacker pretty much in his face. Damn near every time. We saw what Saquon Barkley can do with a terrible quarterback in Daniel Jones. We saw what Saquon Barkley can do with a terrible offensive line in the New York Giants. I do not think that Saquon Barkley alone makes the Eagles a front runner in the NFC East. Call it a homer, call it a hater, call it whatever you want. I still think the Dallas Cowboys still run that division. I think it is the Dallas Cowboys division to lose. But Saquon Barkley definitely helps the case. Makes the New York Giants not so much of a threat. Makes Saquon Barkley a part of your team. He's going to give you 200 yards those 2 games alone versus the New York Giants. But it also takes pressure off of Jalen Hurts. What the Philadelphia Eagles need to do to become front runners in the East is they need to add some secondary help. They need to add some help in the secondary. They are losing a lot of pieces across the board. It seems like everybody's cherry picking from the Philadelphia Eagles, and there's nothing they can do. They cannot stop the bleeding. The cut just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Saquon Barkley definitely does help the cause, but it is an overreaction. Saquon Barkley alone does not make the Eagles a front runners in the East. It is an overreaction. Overreaction 100%. Barkley, Swift, what's the difference? The Eagles will be rebuilding for a few years. Cox is gone and it's going to get ugly, says Jim. The Eagles are in a retool mode, right? Their offense still could be pretty high flying if they can find somebody to really be the leader of that team. I don't think Jalen Hurts is a voiceable leader. He leads by example. He seems like a silent killer type of person. They need somebody out there to check A.J. Brown when he starts, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. Somebody needs to check him. They need to find that guy. The Eagles still have a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball. Saquon Barkley is a 3-down back like Wayne G said about an hour ago, right? They still have A.J. Brown. They still have Devontae Smith. They still have Boston Scott. Jalen Hurts. We'll see how good of a quarterback he is now without Jason Kelce. They are retooling. We'll see how long the retool takes. James says, do they still do the Kelce gone from center? I'm not for sure what you're trying to ask there, James. And says overreaction because they didn't improve their secondary. Listen, the secondary, the defense alone is getting worse. Every hour that goes by, it gets worse. They lose Fletcher Cox. They lose Beard. They lose that white boy. People are cherry picking from the secondary, the linebacking core, to defensive tackles, starters, running back, reserve players. It doesn't matter. They are picking everybody. If Kelce is a manager, he's still wearing the Batman mask, ready to come back in. I think Jason Kelce is done. I could tell by that speech, like he thought long and hard about it. I think Jason Kelce is definitely done. Ant says this does benefit the passing game, though. This will limit the deep ball, and Hurts can throw more slants. Yes. I would expect to see a lot more RPO from the Eagles moving forward. I think that's what Jalen Hurts did a lot at Alabama and Oklahoma, was a lot of the RPO stuff, and I think that will definitely help them. And also says that especially on third down, he doesn't have to go for the deep shots. If you're going for a deep shot every third down, you are not in a position to hand the ball off anyways on third down. As Saquon Barkley can get you a lot of yards, he did average 4.5 yards a touch last season. But if you're third and long, you can't really hand the ball off too much. Jim also says if you let Hurts think too long, it may not go well. He's an athlete playing quarterback. I don't know what you mean by that. You are you saying if you let Jalen Hurts run the RPO and allow him to think and process stuff, it wouldn't be effective? I don't know. We will have to break down some Jalen Hurts film from college and into the NFL hit. But guys, that's going to be it for today's show. Overreaction Tuesday. Joe Mixon has been released. Saquon Barkley signed with the Eagles. Sam Darnold, Aaron Jones both signed with the Packers. Kirk Cousins gets a deal with the Atlanta Falcons. There's a lot of stuff happening across the free agent landscape in day 2. I'm getting ready to update a bunch of the stuff so I get here, guys. So stay tuned to our Facebook page, facebook.com/ManHour NFL Talk. And as news comes across the board, I'll make a graphic. I'll put it out there for you. Bada bing, bada boom. Share it with a couple friends, because sharing is caring. But that is it. Time to get to work through the free agent trades. I did just see that who got signed. Can't even remember. I don't know. There's so much happens here, but see you tomorrow, same time, same place. We out.